Welcome back to another episode of Girl Boss Bible. I'm your host, Katy Clay, and this is the podcast for girls with goals. If you're new here, we have honest conversations about career and life, and we're here to help women who didn't quite get the rule book. I'm joined today by the incredible Kerry, who spent more than 20 years building an impressive career in sales. She worked her way all the way up to sales director and has led some high-performing teams, but last year, she made a decision that was quite a surprise. She's walked away from the corporate life and she started her new business called Hello Laser. And whether you're just dreaming of boardrooms or your own business, or you're just trying to figure out what success looks like, I think this conversation is going to have a lot of value. So welcome, Kerry, to the podcast. Hello.
Hello. Nice to see you and nice to be on and be invited. Thank you so much.
Oh, no, Kerry, I'm so happy to be having this conversation with you. So I'm going to freak you out a bit now.
Right.
Because this is actually a bit of a fangirl moment for me because I've always loved you. I met Kerry when I was 19 years old. You came into our office because basically the backstory is my old manager is besties with Kerry. And then Kerry came in to do some sales training and like consulting for the business. And I was only 19 and it was like my first proper job. And I remember you walking in and you got everyone around in a circle in the middle of the office and you just went, I fucking love sales. And I was just like, who is this woman? I love it.
You can't bloody do that now. Do you know what I mean? I'd get bloody strung up with HR for saying something like that.
I know, but I love that. That to me was just, I just fell in love with her. I was like, oh my God, she's the boss. She is unreal. Yeah. So that was my first impression of you. And it was an amazing one.
Thank you.
And since, I would always look up to you. Like, and we've been chatting to Martin about it and stuff. I just always fully looked up to you. I just think you're brilliant, Kerry. So, and you're great fun. You're a laugh. You're everything.
Thanks, sweets. That's really nice of you to say.
It's all right. So yeah, fangirling at the moment, and I'm buzzing that you're on the pod. So, how has your week been anyway?
Yeah, it's been pretty good, actually. Last weekend, I was lucky enough to be at a spiritual retreat in Wales, and I literally came back from that retreat just feeling very resetted, very calm, extremely grateful, because I think sometimes we can lose our gratitude when we get caught up in our day-to-day life. So yeah, last week I just felt really good about everything. Still do now, still got a bit of it, but it gets chipped away, doesn't it, as every day goes on and you're back in your normal day-to-day routine. So yeah, it was a good week last week, and finished the week off yesterday with an all-day content day at Hello Laser, which I recently opened back in December. So I'd say I don't enjoy them because it's all about me. It's a bit cringe. You're on camera, you're doing treatments, you're doing everything, but it was what my business really needs, that social presence. So just having to get out my comfort zone and do things that, like, how does my hair look? Does my makeup need redoing? What did I look at that angle? And you just have to get over your ego and get on with it. But it was a really successful day. So I would say, yeah, whilst it was a very hard working week, not even getting Sunday off, it was a good week still.
Yeah. Yeah. I know I'm like that. Like I said to you before, I've got to do this intro. I'll cringe at myself. It just is cringe, but you just got to get over yourself, haven't you, and do it.
You really do. You really do, because these things hold us back, and ultimately they're our ego, and you're like, isn't it better to try and do something than not do it at all? Isn't it better to give something a go, whether it works or fails, and say you have, as opposed to you never do it and in your mind you always wish you did? That's kind of my thing in life, which is just fucking do it rather than don't. Even if it all cocks up, I'd rather that than I would not do something. Do you know what I mean? Oh, my cat's here.
Boo?
No, this is Belle. Oh,
it's
show
Belle.
you. Yeah, it's Belle. Look.
Oh.
I mean, come on.
That's
Good on you.
cute.
Thank you.
I always
They
love your
always love
video
getting involved.
when Betty, is it Betty that always like attacks the the
Yeah.
groomer?
Groomer. Yeah. Yeah. Pure boss bitch she is. Yeah. Should get her on.
I know.
It's funny actually, when I go to the hairdressers, I actually ask the hairdresser, I actually get this picture of Betty out with my hair and say something like that.
She is. She is a sass queen, and we love
Yes,
that.
that's great.
That's so funny. Right. Well, what we'll do, we'll open with boss move of the week. So
Yeah.
I've got a couple to read out. First one is my own mother, and
Go
she's
on,
got a
Mum.
job. So Kerry, she got made redundant this year.
Oh,
She took some time out. She came to Australia. She started her house out, and then she applied for a job. It was a first interview, and I think it was in about 16 years or something.
oh,
Yeah, she's 55 this year, so she's shitting herself.
yeah.
Done all the prep with her. Her prep was unreal. She took little note cards in. She even made them like this little deck, and it was just like amazing. First interview, job offer, got the
Go
job.
on, love. Go
So
on, love.
big up.
Yeah, big up.
And then second of all is one of my other girls has just moved house. So, and I've seen it, it's unreal. So yeah, also props for that. But that's all we've got in the write-ups this week. But yeah, two very, very big life moves. So we're here for it. Have you got a boss move of the week?
Yes, I have actually. So, from a business perspective, I think my boss move this week was meeting a client that I decided that I didn't want to work with moving forward. And I think that is so empowering for me. Ultimately, I sensed that the client was going to be very difficult. And it's not that I'm not up for any challenges with any clients, but what I'd say is the difference between working for someone else and having to do things that you really shouldn't, that are wrong morally or whatever else, and then having your own business and actually deciding, I don't have to do those things anymore. I don't have to, I'm not this like nodding dog anymore. I've got my own mind, my own instinctive, and I know when something's not right for me. And I think, that for me was a total boss move, also being only month 8 into a business. And despite someone wanting to invest some money, you can go, thanks, but no thanks, in obviously a really professional way, in terms of I don't think we're the right match. I don't think I'm the right person to be able to carry out your treatment. But actually be able to do that for me was boss as fuck. Sorry if I'm not allowed to swear.
No, you swear away. We can swear all we want.
Swear all the time, don't I? So yeah, let's get used to it.
Yeah. Kerry, exactly. Like I said earlier, I just want to be you. So I also swear quite a lot, even in work. So don't worry. I said to, do you know what's hilarious? You'll visit this. So like in ours, obviously, like I'm just like you, dead man, like you come as you are, what you see is what you get, kind of thing. And like today, I was sat there, I was chatting to my team, and I said to them, I went, yeah, and I'm just sat there like some fucking dickhead. And then they were all looking at me laughing, and I thought, yeah, I probably shouldn't really expect it. You just like, but then I just think that's me. That is me. So you know what I mean? It's my character. And they were laughing and stuff, but I come away. I thought I probably shouldn't call myself a fucking dickhead in the office. Probably not.
I think though there's a different culture, isn't there, for Mancunians, and people won't understand. I remember in the last position I was in, I was actually in a really good company, really, really good company, really professional company. And it was everything that I thought I needed to remain as a sales director in sales in my career. Because I thought that if I went into that type of business, that all of the noises in my head about not wanting to do it anymore would go away. But actually, they magnified it more than ever because I was out of excuses. But what I would say is when I went into that environment as well, it was like, good morning, love, couldn't be in my vocabulary anymore. And actually, during that 9 months in that business, I become my most unauthentic self. Because, like you say, the for fuck's sake or fucking habit. You just can't do it. And
Yeah.
I understand that as well. And I don't think there's anything wrong with being in a professional environment and, having to watch your P's and Q's in the right businesses. In some of them, no, it's you can be your authentic self. But I feel like these things lead us to exactly where we're supposed to be as well.
Yeah, and do you know what? I see it as a benefit that I'm like that. Do you know what I mean? I'd love to have a manager that I can relate to and who's dead normal and you can chat with and all that. But
Your
I've
heart's on your sleeve, Katy, as
exactly,
well, isn't it? People know
yeah,
exactly where they are with a character like yours, in my opinion. And I guess that's because we're similar, but it could be really different for others. There's
yeah.
no wrong or right, is there?
But it's a blessing and a curse as well because if I'm pissed off, like I do keep my professional thing, but I'm just not as bubbly. It's one of them like I'm either quite quiet. I'm never like rude or kicking off or
Of
whatever. But,
course.
well, and also my boss move of the week,
Yeah.
which are very Gen Z of me, I think.
Go
So
on.
last week I was pretty ill. Turns out I had COVID. But normally I'm a drag myself into the office kind of old school kind of girl. I'll be in on my deathbed unless my legs hanging off. I'm in kind of, and that's kind of been ingrained in me. But over here, they're a lot more chilled, like they
I was going to
literally,
say, aren't you encouraged over in Australia to actually take sick time?
yeah,
Is that
yeah,
because one of my mates lives over there and she was saying like it's kind of like part of your annual leave to an extent, or that's
y-
how I've taken it in. I thought,
y-
bloody hell, that's nice. For
well,
the
yeah,
days where you just don't feel okay. Do you know
yeah,
what I mean?
exactly. They love a sick day, and I thought I've not used any in because you get them as part of your allowance, like so you get 20 days annual leave, 10 days sick. But
Right.
in 2 years, I
Yeah.
mean, I still got my 20 days, and I thought, but I was so ill, and I thought, why are you forcing it, Kate? Actually, just do it.
Yeah,
So I had
so
3 days. Yeah,
they're not your days to go on holiday with, but they're your days of feeling tired or like you've got COVID or the
yeah,
cold. You just don't have
yeah,
to force yourself in. I love that.
yeah, yeah. So that's the first. I mean, I've been here 2 years now, but that's the first time I've done it. I thought, sod it. I mean, I was ill. Do you know what I mean? But
Follow the
yeah,
culture, babes. That's what I
yeah.
say.
Look after myself first and
Yeah.
foremost is what I did. So, right, fab. So let's make a start.
Yeah.
And I want to start with the corporate side of your life,
Yeah.
first of all. So, just walk me through the early years of like, where was your ambitions and stuff? Did you fall into sales or how did you end up doing sales?
Yeah. So, oh God, my selling career started at a very young age. It came from my nana giving me a bucket and a sponge and told me to knock on people's houses with a bottle of washing up liquid and offer to clean their cars.
Nice.
So, and in the 6 weeks holidays, that's exactly what I'd be doing. Alongside my nana, there was also my granddad who had a fruit stall. So every Saturday, from being around the age of 8 or 9, I'd be going with my granddad to the fruit stall, going and buying the fruit that I started working out was, oh God, that box of apples was £2, but we're selling every apple at 20p. And then
Nice.
actually that box of fruit gives you 20 quid. So these things started coming into my head because I'd be selling them all day. And I guess that doing stuff from a really young age got me used to money. And then my family are not very academic. They're more sort of just workers. No one went to uni. So
Mhm.
when I was at school, I didn't enjoy it, didn't really like it, did okay at my grades and that. But I remember when they were trying to say about going to college or whatever, I was like, I just want a job, I just want to work. And then I went in a modern apprenticeship like scheme. And then I got my first job at Loot, which was a newspaper back in the day, which you can only describe it as being like eBay. Like it was a
Right,
newspaper that people bought just to buy things. And I got
right.
a job there for £80 a week, working in sales admin. So it was never that I necessarily intended to go into sales. It was, I wanted to go into a business where you earned money. You did MVQ, so I used to go to college every other week, but I got my job on this sales floor with 30 salespeople who, you know, used to sell to businesses all day. And I was like this, you know, 16 years old, but I looked like I was about 13. You know, I remember going with my mum to buy my clothes, you know, my first professional clothes.
Yeah.
And I put them on and I just felt so odd, weird, but really like I was the shiz as well.
Yeah.
And yeah, you know, I was an impressionable 16-year-old where, you know, these salespeople were earning commission. You know, they're on 20, 25 grand a year plus commission. And I just remember thinking, you know, after a couple of weeks of doing it, it was all I wanted. And then when I was 17, they gave me like, we're going to give you this little side hustle on top of your job and you can earn up to £200 a month in commission. So I started doing it. And then when I was 18, I then got promoted into going into sales and joined like an induction. So it was never the plan to get into it. It was I went into the environment and thought, I want to be just like these. I want to be earning that money. And oddly, they put me into the adult section. So I was selling to massage parlours, escort agencies.
Oh my.
And at 18 years old, I was running around Manchester and Greater Manchester with loot newspapers, and any that didn't answer the phone because it was mainly telephone based, I'd just go knocking on these parlours and come out with like a month of advertising, £360 cash. And I
Wow.
just absolutely loved it. And, you know, by my first year in the business, I think I was on like a basic salary of around 12 grand, but I was doing 24 grand a year with my
Wow.
commission. So I was doubling my salary. And I just absolutely loved it. You know, I can't tell you, nothing's thrilled me. Like winning sales. And I was like that for many, many years after. But that's kind of from how I kind of that ethos of going into work at a young age, in the 6 weeks holidays working on my granddad's fruit stall every Saturday until I was 18. That thing of get up and get to work was there. But
Yeah.
then actually going in that environment and realizing that money as well, what it could do for me, what it could do for my family in terms of treating my siblings, my cousins.
Mm.
And, you know, the little moments of going and buying my first Dolce& and Gabbana bag when I was
Yeah.
18, it meant everything to me because it
Yeah.
kind of validated me. I'd come from an underprivileged background. And the fact that I was able to do that for me, it made me feel like I was someone and something.
Yeah.
I'm very, very grateful for my sales career and everything that I've been able to do from a financial point for myself and my family for it.
Yeah. No, it's a weird one because I'm probably similar, very similar in every respect. Like I'm so money driven, which has changed. It's changing a bit as I'm getting older. To be fair, I used to be thinking I want to be a multi-millionaire. Now I'm thinking I just want to buy the odd Prada and have a nice house and nice holidays. That'll suffice now. But it's just you just want that. Like there is no better feeling than. Like me and Fred was shopping the other week and we went in a Tissot. It's not even that expensive watch. And he tried it on. I just went, do you want it? And he went, yeah. And I went, go on then, let's get it. And he went, what's this? I said, yeah, come on, we'll just buy it now. And he went, whoa. And it was like, that's the first time where I've been able to just go, we'll just buy it. And it's like, oh, it is a buzz, isn't it? It's like, oh, that's like just
The
being
little
able to do,
hits.
yeah.
Yeah, it's the little hits. And also, you know, yes, it's materialism, but so what? Like
Oh,
whatever strives you, whether it's
yeah,
the watch, the house, you know, whatever it is, who cares? Like
yeah,
whether people want to save, it's all up to them. But ultimately, you know, money provides us security and takes away worry, you
yeah.
know, and when you've come from nothing, it is the biggest motivator that you could ever have.
Yeah, yeah. It's a mad one because like for here, like the English stand out really a lot in the job roles and stuff. Like no offense to Australians, but over here they're so non-materialistic. They're so removed from the world, and I feel like they're just dead happy with the little lives, and they're just going to the beach with the little like cool boxes and sitting on and they're happy doing that. So whereas us Brits, I feel like we've just got more of that materialism, but I don't think it's like you said. I don't think that's a bad thing. I actually don't.
No,
It
do you know
drives.
what? I feel like as I've got older, I feel that I'm more at peace and humble, where yes, I am money motivated, but also I am really happy doing some of those things that those Aussie people are
Yeah.
doing. The
Yeah.
free sunset, taking
Yeah.
a sandwich with you to somewhere because it actually tastes better than buying a shit one out of prep. Do you know what I mean? So as I've got older, my ego's dropped a little bit, where I'm
Yeah.
like, I'm understanding life a little bit more, and I'm 45 years old, and I'm appreciating more inner peace. It sounds really wanky, and I can't even believe I'm saying it out loud, but it's kind of the direction of where I've gone
Yeah.
through gratitude, lots of healing internally, lots of like battle scars over the years because of corporate career and just life experience,
Yeah.
where you just get to a point where you just kind of want to be happy, but also you don't want to be worrying about having to pay your bills and shit. Do you know what I mean?
That's it. It's just, I think that's what I feel like my mindset's shifted from I wanting loads of like amazing things and cars to I want to be able to afford to make the best memories and do
Yeah.
nice and travel and things like that, which obviously still costs money. But yeah. What in terms of like, obviously you then reached sort of sales director level. How long was you at sales director level for, Kerry?
God, for many years, probably about talking maybe 10 years in as a director. Yeah,
Right.
across various different businesses, from, some of the largest in the world to some quite small establishments as well.
And what does it mean to be a sales director? Like, say someone's looking for that role now, or they're starting off in sales and they want to see work in their career. What does it mean? What does you sort of, I mean, it might vary by business, but
Yeah, no, I think first of all, that once I got into sales, it was very much I wanted to be a team leader or a sales manager. And then
yeah,
when I got that, I really wanted to be the sales director. I think from an ego point, I'm just like, I don't know, validation in life.
yeah,
To think that you can reach those levels is just amazing.
mhm,
If you're ambitious, it's like, I've fucking done it. I did
yeah,
it, got it.
yeah, yeah,
So I think that's what feels fabulous. If that's what someone really wants, then go for it. But I think equally, what comes with it is mass pressure. So
mm,
once you start going into any leadership position, it changes from being this individual who can be dead selfish, dead money motivated, me, to what about, you know, how do you sell internally as well as externally? You have
yeah,
to think about things around building relationships with peers from other departments.
mm,
Got to do that well to get them
yeah,
to buy into what it is you need. So then ultimately you can deliver what your goals and targets are, whatever your strategies are. So I think people shouldn't put pressure on themselves to go, I'm only going to be great if I keep climbing this ladder of being a sales director. What comes with it is a lot of weight and responsibility, and, a lot of around people management, which can be very consuming.
yeah,
So
it
if
is.
you're someone who actually is just so that wrapped up in you, your own pocket, you just being on your own mission, it's probably best to climb the ladder by, starting as, I don't know, a business development executive, then that maybe
Yeah,
turns into a business development manager, then a business development director. Then,
yeah,
if you're in a small company, go in a bigger company. If you're in one industry, try and branch out to others. So you can have an insane career still and earn even more money than your sales director if you're doing things
yeah,
right. And, I remember one of my latest technology roles, which was a fantastic business I used to work with that did payroll, software and other software market leaders, largest company in the UK. And some of the sales reps, I'd be signing off their commission. They earned more than me, even
mm,
though my basic salary was at least double theirs. So
yeah,
I feel like it depends on, I'll be honest, for me, it's sometimes like you can get caught up a bit in what people think. And that's why you strive for these positions, because you're just like, it's ego, you're validating yourself, where actually sometimes it might be best to just think, forget all that. I love sales, I love selling. I don't want to get caught up in internal politics and strategies. I just
Yeah.
want to deliver. So
Yeah.
there's no wrong or right with this. I feel like there's pros and cons on both sides, absolutely.
Yeah. And I also think not everyone should be a manager. Do you know what I mean?
No, absolutely not.
There's some personalities that are just that do it because it's the only next logical step in the career, and you just should not be managing people.
Yeah,
And so it can actually damage you if you go
yeah,
into it wrong when you've got an amazing reputation. Um,
absolutely. And do you know what? You've said something there that is so valid. Like, it's a funny one. Like, there's things about management and what makes a good leader. And sometimes just because someone's good at sales, they start stepping into these things because the business like wants them to. But actually there's not the wraparound. They don't have the basic requirements of being a good leader. They might have a dictatorship style
mm,
or whatever. They might not be very empathetic. They might be
yeah.
too nice. And it's really difficult to find good
Mm,
leaders. And I'm not even trying to say for 1 minute that I'm a good leader. I'm
yeah.
just saying that, my track record kind of indicates through my achievements on numbers that I am. But
Hmm.
ultimately, over the years, the last few years of my career, I was literally battering my own head with, is this really for me?
Mm,
Is this really the right option for me still? Which is why it took me to where it did. It's
yeah.
tough. It's tough at the top, no matter what
It,
people think. It's the mental take home with you where, sometimes you're having to end careers. There
yeah.
may be redundancy risks in businesses. There may be a change of direction where, you've employed people to do a certain role and actually it's not the right thing for the business and that needs changing.
Yeah.
There'll be people who, like your vision and your direction. There'll be people who won't, there'll be that constant battle with, what do people think? And you have to kind of get that out of your head and just do what's right for the business. But that means that you can come across as or an awful person, people
Yeah.
really disliking you. So, like I say, there's a lot of scars that come with it. You can get really
Yeah.
passionate about your team and what's best for them, but then you
Yeah.
can have your peers that actually don't give a damn about that. So you just fight, you're in battles everywhere, and
Yeah.
that can be exhausting.
But it can just be it's lonely because you
Yeah.
can't discuss it because obviously you're at a certain level with your other leaders, but you can't obviously discuss it with your team because you're on the leadership team. It actually it is lonely at the top, and I'm not even that high up yet. Do you know what I mean? And it's like it's one of them.
Yeah,
The higher you get, it's going to get more pressure, and the weight is all on your shoulders if you've got to let people go.
absolutely.
That's awful. Um, all of it, it is a very pressurized thing to go through. What
Absolutely.
what qualities do you think people need to then get promoted into leadership? What would you look for?
Um, I feel like I, it's cliche just coming out, isn't it? With all of the standard stuff, like shows resilience and this and that and the other. Do you know? I feel like it's around putting the time, so a current leader putting the time into individuals to work out whether or not they're really right for it
Hmm.
without it being on a paper, 5 words and going, demonstrates good values, team player. It's not really about that. Every business is completely niche.
Mm,
They know what they need in their business. And also, you've got your leadership to satisfy within that business as well.
hmm.
Specific leaders operate in different ways, and there needs to be a lesser, there's these 5 attributes, and a little bit more around what does my boss want to see from me? So, what do I need to see from the person that I'm looking to promote? And
Mm,
every business will have its own style. I've worked in environments where my leadership had been absolutely ruthless, and therefore a ruthless there's something needed within that leadership to be like, they're not going to stand for any crap. They're going to
yeah.
performance management people if needed. I've worked for other businesses that want to like wrap people up in cotton wool and give them every opportunity and follow a plan. So like I say, it's really different business on business, and a good leader understands that whilst they want to put their rubber stamp on things, there's also a game that needs to be played within a business, and ensuring that you're playing the right game. And that doesn't mean a game in terms of like it's fun, it's the game of that business. And ultimately, to be successful within the business you work in, you need to be playing the rules of that business. So whilst all of them can have on paper what they'd like and values and whatever else, it doesn't work like that. It's absolute rubbish.
Yeah. Yeah. And it's how you interpret it and then roll it out amongst your team and get them to buy it.
Exactly.
Yeah. I know that's it's one thing I struggle with.
Sorry, I'm really honest here as well, but I'm not coming on here to fluff things up. There's just no point.
No, it's true. And I want people to understand it, because I've obviously, I mean, look, I first management role at 28 years old. I moved over here. I had no friends, no family. Walked in a team in just disarray. And I thought, fuck, what am I doing? Like,
what have I done?
What the fuck?
Well, it's sunny outside at least.
Well, yeah, when it wants to be here, it's a bit miss Melbourne. But I actually thought, fuck, I am in over my head. And what I found the most difficult thing was going from a peer to a leader, because, I mean, you know what I'm like. I mean, you see how much I got on with Martin in the office. I was mates with everyone in the office. I was a bit of the cock of the office, to be honest. You know what I mean? Morning, making everyone laugh, joke, nights out. I'm there at the front. I'm everyone's mate. I'm best mates with everyone, and everyone's dead good mates with me. To then come to somewhere where I've got to put my stamp on it, like you say. So I've had to change things up. Not well liked. I'm brand new. I'm now a leader. I'm on a different level to everyone. I'm not, so they don't tell me things. Whereas normally I used to get all the whispers from the office. So I know everything that's going on. And it was just like, I haven't got a clue what they're talking about. I don't have a clue what they're thinking. I'm just making my own judgment as a 28-year-old with no experience. I'm just constantly doubting myself. And also thinking, why don't you like me? Everyone normally likes me. And that was the hardest thing for me, was being comfortable not being liked by people.
Yeah, it's a challenge, isn't it? And again, you know, some of these things as I got into my 40s were weighing really heavy on me. And, you know, I had to make some tough decisions around what my future needed to look like, just because there's so many scars where you just like, I just don't want to do this anymore. Do you know what I mean?
Exactly. It is. I've got PTSD already, so we'll come back to me in 10 years and then we'll be having the same combo. But yeah, really interesting. And in terms of like, I don't know, say someone is in sales and they're really hardworking, you know, what is actually going to get them promoted? When do they ask for it, and what's actually going to get someone promoted, do you reckon?
Yeah. So, you know, first of all, it is actually delivering numbers, right? It's as simple as that. Being there or thereabouts at least. So, all right, you might not be 110% a target. You might be 90, but you're pretty much there or thereabouts. You've definitely paid for your seat. So I feel like, you know, it's around, you have to be able to deliver on what your numbers are 100%. The second thing is it's about engaging with your manager and just like saying to your manager, look, be honest with me. What is stopping me? Now, the hard thing is that there might be people who are better, and that's sometimes something that you've just got to accept. You can see that there's people, not just on numbers, but there'll be other things. You know, it could be the part of like communities where, you know, they're helping drive the business in what direction it goes in terms of like how you can generate more sales. So I'd encourage people to get involved in things that are not just sales related, but then not just say to the manager when they're not delivering whatever it is they need to, I didn't do it because I was doing X. So it's about, again, maybe some people will find this more of an old-fashioned view, but I think the people who give that little bit more will get that little bit more. And, I know generations have changed over the years where, they want to come in on the dot and go in on the dot. And again, maybe this is why I've stepped out of my career, which is I'm still of the opinion that actually, if you want more, you need to do a little bit more.
Yeah.
If you want to just do your job and come in on the dot and go on the dot, that's absolutely fine. But if you want to set yourself apart from others, you need to probably you probably need more time to do it. And sometimes investing a little bit of your time, even if it's 1 hour a week, and you being able to demonstrate those things to your leader, like, this is what I'm doing above and beyond to support like the wider function, it not just being in sales what I'm doing, but like operationally thinking about how processes could be improved, but you're also able to deliver some of these things in an articulate way where you're not going, operations are shit, they've not done this, and this. It's like, I've been thinking about the operations process and I wondered if we did X, Y, and Z, could that be better? So it's putting yourself out there, but also being able to articulate yourself in a way where you're getting buy-in from other areas and you're not attacking other areas. And again, that comes with maturity and just getting used to doing things. So I would say they're the things, really.
That's such a sales department problem, as well. That you just they just blame everyone, don't they?
Yeah, we do. Yeah, but do you know what? As well, I'm going to be honest with you. Like, we do, and guess what? We're right.
Yeah.
And towards the end of my career, I was getting to a point where all I wanted to do was tell people to fuck off and get off my team's back. And your processes are absolutely shocking.
Yeah.
And unfortunately, I'm flying the flag here for my sales teams. Most of the time, everything they say is correct. It's just the way they were saying it. The emails that I'd go flying across, you'd think, what are you doing?
Yeah.
Because now what you're doing is you're giving someone the ammunition to say, but they were right. They were right the whole time. Like, let's drop the Fugazi. The sales team are always right at the end.
Well, I don't know. Finances.
Sorry, look, you're going to be the cock-ups, the mistakes. It's like the poor sales team. We just used to get it left, right, and centre.
Yeah, but the thing is, use a customer facing, aren't they? That's the thing. The sales team, of course, they have to deal with the shit on the end from the customer if we cock up. Right. While we're talking on sales, let's have a little bit of a masterclass because I tried sales. I don't know if you know this. You remember when I worked with Worth for a year, then I left and moved to London. So that first year when I met you.
Oh yeah, I remember that because I remember bumping into you on the train.
Yeah. And I bloody went to London and started recruitment. Studied recruitment for 18 months.
Rough.
And that is a hard sell. Let me tell you, that traumatized me. But what I feel like it is, I learned
so much
amazing skills, which I genuinely feel like sales is the best life skill. And if I compare that with finance, and if I can have both of them, even better, because you can run a business. If you know finance, you know sales, you can run a business easy because sales just does it everything. Even when I'm speaking to suppliers, when I'm speaking to whoever, you got that sales skill is so important for everything you do in life. Right, I can't put you on the spot here, Kerry, but
all right.
What is one technique everyone should know?
Build rapport, gain commitment.
Ooh, okay.
Yeah, that's my line, and I've stole that from a director I used to work for many moons ago, and it was something he said, and I just never forgot it. Do you know what I mean? And it's just around building relationships and engaging with a client, and every step of the way, you're ensuring that they're on the same page as you, so that then when it comes to your close, there's no reason why people are going to say no. So I feel like for me, that's just something that I always remembered. I'd be talking to someone or having a million conversations in my head with them and going like, right, okay, so they'd be talking back at me and I'm writing my notes and like I'm multitasking, but I'd be like, right, ask them this, right? Do you think they understand that? Ask them, do you understand what I mean? But, and it was just that thing where, you know, at the end of it, there's no reason why people can say no, because you've done everything you should have and made sure they understood it along the way.
No, interesting. So build rapport, gain commitment.
Yeah.
What is the biggest mistake people make when they're selling?
Just assuming.
Right.
Yeah, just assuming things, not asking enough questions, and just going in for the kill far too soon. It's we get excited in sales, like someone gives us a buying signal, like how much is it? And we're like, and that's it. And
Yeah.
actually, what we can do is if someone's not ready to buy just yet, like the fact finding, they get terrified of potential what the costs are. Do you know what I mean? Because they'll be like, God, how much is that? And it's because we've just not said, I can absolutely give you that information. Let me just check a couple of things out first, if that's okay. And then you start asking questions. So you take them through their current situation, what the problem is they're trying to fix. If they don't fix it, what's the implication? And then when you do that, it's called spin the technique. When you then understand the implication, you're like, oh, you know, so if you didn't do this, then what you're saying is your team are going to carry on manually doing it. How much time of your team does that take? What monetary value is that? Ah, right, okay. And with that time, what else could they be doing? Oh, they could fix all these things that are problems. All right, fantastic. Right. So based on what you've said, this is the cost to take all that problem away. And that frees up your team's time to do these other things.
Yeah.
And it's a no-brainer for people then. But when you don't understand the problem, you know, the situation, the problem, and the implication, and you're just giving costs out, there might not be a big situation. Do you know what I mean? So it's just following little methodologies, which in decent sales businesses, you'd like to think people are told and trained, but also people just get a bit lazy and can't really be bothered going through it all themselves with a client. And they've got to.
Yeah. And then I guess that listening piece is also important if you're asking all them questions and taking it in and processing it quickly. Do you think anyone can be good at sales?
No,
No,
not at all. No, I think there's a lot of people in sales that shouldn't be in sales. I feel, and I've seen that over the years, even some of the sales teams that I've worked with, probably 70% shouldn't be there. And they're there because they like the idea of it. They're there because they like the idea of commission. But ultimately, are they ready to kick down doors to make stuff happen? No. They don't have a sense of urgency. It's just a job. And most feel like, well, I've got some commission. And, you know, I feel like we've got, like, in sales, there's this thing called the 80-20 rule. And it's where really 20% of the sales team are probably doing 80% of the revenue.
Right.
Yeah. And really, it should be the other way around. And I just think sometimes, you know, businesses, PLCs, you know, they just think, let's keep putting more heads in, let's grow it, let's go crazy. And actually, you could probably employ 25% of what you've really got, blow them up with the best salaries ever, the best commission packages ever, give them the, the majority of the leads and the quality of their work and what you'd get more out of it. It was really frustrating, you know, like where you'd be there and you'd say, we're giving you an extra 10 heads, and you'd think, oh, no, why?
Yeah.
And you'd be like, where are the leads coming from to support them? Oh, well, you know, you can just cold call. All right, yeah, bollocks. Do you know what I mean? Like, seriously, less people, more quality leads, better conversions every time.
Yeah. That's so interesting. I feel like that's actually really useful for me right now. You know, Kerry, I'm not gonna lie.
Do you know what? No, do you know what though as well? It's like I've seen it all over the years, and the thing about sales is for people to be successful at it, they either need an account base
Yeah.
that has a propensity to spend
Mm-hmm.
and the analytics behind that to prove that. So, if someone inherits a territory and they go, oh, here's all your accounts, and, you've got some that are spending 100 quid a year.
Mm.
Well, if they're a company that's a one-man band, you're never going to get more money out of them. So they shouldn't even be classed as a client.
Yeah. Yeah.
That's a marketing function. But
Yeah.
if you've got someone who's spending 100 quid a year, but they've got 1,000 employees, there's the opportunity for them to spend. So I
Yeah.
feel like whether you're like farming a base, like work needs to be put into that to ensure that you can actually deliver off that base.
Yeah.
And if you're in the new business world where, you're not given any accounts, because I've like looked after teams with all of that and just some
Yeah.
of that, but you've got like a new business team, they need to be given the leads,
Yeah.
right? Because you don't want them reaching out to people on LinkedIn or via the phone, because all you're going to do is waste the time. You
Mm.
need to be giving them someone who showed some interest in your product or service.
Yeah.
And the businesses that are operating cold call style, like just get in the bin, that's coming from me. Like to be putting your teams through that every day is just rubbish.
It's
Like
it.
it's just
Yeah.
it's so old school. It's appalling. Like it should just be banned. I feel like if someone is truly gifted at sales, their job is to sell the
Mm.
solution. And the fact that they could be spending 80% of their time just picking up the phone and being told someone's not available is piss poor. There's
Yeah.
so many tools out there now, automated tools, businesses you can partner with, where you can ensure that your teams are being given the right tools for them to sell.
Yeah. Yeah. It is, and it's demoralizing. There's now
Demoralizing.
it
Yeah.
is. That is what happened to me in recruitment. They just went, "Yeah, this is your topic. Go and find
Yeah.
some."
Go.
I was like, "I've got no candidates. I've got no jobs on. I've got to
Yeah.
ring somewhere and go, hi, are you recruiting for this?
Yeah.
Do you wanna?" And
Yeah.
it's like, they're like, "Fuck off, hon. I don't even know who you are." And I'm like, "I
Yeah.
know, me neither. I'm 18. I don't know what the fuck I'm doing." Like,
And do
yeah,
you know what though, Katie? One thing, there may be a place in some industries for it, but some of the industries that I've worked in, I've not done recruitment because it's rough as hell.
it
But
is.
like, your technology businesses, the financial services business, it needs to be done much more professionally.
Yeah, correctly. Yeah. And on that note, just a last bit on sales, Kerry. When it comes to rejection, how would you handle that when you get in a rejection?
Next.
Thank you.
Yeah,
Next.
that's literally it. Like,
Yeah.
I mean, there's a little bit of what have we learned from the rejection? Like,
Yeah.
if it's your first call in and they're not interested, it's absolutely next, let's go. But there's
Mm-hmm.
a bit of a reflection of, could I have done something? Am I presenting this properly? If you're at a point of where you've delivered a solution to someone and they say no, it's like, well, why? Why have they gone to a competitor? Why did we lose the proposal? What is the feedback they've give and
Yeah.
learned from it and get your solution around it. So I feel like if it's early stages, it's next. If it's latter stages, it's how do we present better? What does the business need to change to make sure we win?
Yeah. No,
Because it's
amazing.
sometimes a lot about the product and the solution. It's not just about the individual, and that can be quite hard. And I think if you're an individual now who's losing deals because your business is crap or your solution is, don't stay in it. Go to the market leader and go and win.
Well, loved that, Kerry. Loved the sales little masterclass then. That was
No,
great.
you're welcome.
So interesting. And obviously you can just see how passionate you are about it, which
Yeah.
is why the plot twist from last year has probably came as a bit of a shock to a lot of people.
Definitely.
Why did you leave? Talk us through what was the main driver.
Yeah, I feel like for about 5 to 7 years, I really started struggling mentally with not sales, but just the pressure of
Yeah.
sales. So if you're successful, all your numbers go up. And the groundhog each day, each month of everything feeling like relief rather than pleasure. Do you know what I mean? From a numbers point. Then combine that with hormones, and you're feeling highly sensitive, emotional. And I said it earlier, but I kind of just got to a point where I just wanted to tell people to fuck off all the time, grow up. Like there was no filter. It really started happening, you know, the professional Kerry, while she was still mank and what have you, it would be very much if someone had come in or there'd be something, I'm right, okay. And you sat there thinking, what the fuck? You know, and it just got to that point where I thought, I've absolutely had enough of being told what to do when I don't agree with it. I've had enough of even indulging in this shit from like managers. I'm not happy about this. I'm not happy about that. What, doing some work, you know, it was just, and it was just all of that with my hormones. I went through a lot of things of not feeling enough. And I just thought to myself, something needs to change, but what am I going to do? And also, how am I going to maintain my lifestyle? Because, you know, I've got a nice house.
That's it.
I've got a nice lifestyle I live. I've got family to support. You know, I like the finer things in life. Like, yes, I love going to a healing retreat and rolling round on grass. But I also love popping into Cartier and buying a bracelet. So it's all good and well being like, I just want to be happy. But it's like, yeah, but you might have to make some sacrifices a little bit, but ultimately you've got to boss yourself back to finances and where you were at. So yeah, it was knowing something needed to change, but not having a clue of what it was going to be. And I always thought it had to be something related to what I'd done. So it was always that thing of going, well, it's not like I can create source code and sell something, or do you know what I mean? It was, what am I going to do? And it was, my head was going all the time, bargaining with, I looked a lot at that drop shipping. I invested in like a course in it and there was little things like that where like, I knew something had to change, but I just didn't know what it was going to be.
But then, because was it more that you wanted to just work for yourself, or was it that you wanted to do something different?
No, it was that thing of going, I'd come to the conclusion as well that I was unmanageable. If I was if you're like, unmanageable, like, don't get me wrong, my leaders would not say that, but really I was, because I was just, like I said, I just wanted to say to people, you're putting my targets up again. Like, what are you on? Like, what is the, it got to that point and I thought, oh God, you know, you are in danger zone now, Kerry, of becoming your true authentic self and probably getting sacked.
And exploded.
Yeah.
I know it's hard to keep by sometimes. Like,
I know. And how old are you, Katy?
30.
So I'm 44. So you're at where you're at now, and I'm at where I'm at. So you can see, you know, there's I've got 13 years on you, and probably all that weight, pressure, and strain. So yeah.
Well, you probably went into management about the same age as me then. And
I went into management when I was about 22. I was like a team leader. And then because I was working from 16, and then it kind of went up from there. So that was the reason for the plot twist. It was losing my passion for just working for others and being told what to do and not really caring anymore about payroll solutions. I was like, I don't give a shit about all of that. Like, I couldn't give, you'd be there and someone would go, have you seen the latest article on this? And you'd be like, yeah, it was great, wasn't it? And you're like, I don't give a shit. I don't give a shit.
Because do you not look at coaching or anything as well, Kerry? Because
what do you mean?
Like coaching people, like on your own, self-employed, stuff like that.
Do you know what? Like, I have got connections that I've made throughout my career, in terms of people who've worked for me, and they are in touch with me. I've got friends, and essentially people, I'm here for everyone as and when
Mm,
they need me.
mm,
So I offer like free coaching and
hmm.
would to anybody about anything, anytime, if they just wanted to check in around. I have friends now, they'll be preparing for interviews. Cares, I'm going for an interview. This is the role. This is what are my tasks that I've been asked to do. This is what I'm thinking of doing. Have you
Mm,
got any pointers for me? And I'm
yeah,
always there for everyone if needed. But
yeah,
right now, my focus needs to be on dominating laser hair removal in Stockport.
yeah.
And like I say, here for a chat or what have you, but that's
You.
my goal now.
What made you pick laser then?
Yeah, so I went for the treatment myself, and I remember thinking, this is really bloody good, as in it works.
Hmm.
And it was the thing of going, right, I've spent like nearly £1,000 on 6 sessions, and I'm in and out in like 20 minutes. And I did the maths and I was like, canal, it's brilliant. And then
Yeah,
the curiosity around it, I started looking at different laser technologies, different machines, other local laser businesses.
yeah,
And I also have a friend who has a beauty business and does lots of different things. And I just kind of started talking to her about it.
yeah,
And despite potentially even being a competitor, she's in like such an amazing like league of her own. But she was just like, you know what, Kerry, all I've ever wanted for you is for you to have your own business. And just, I'm here, talk to me, any advice you need, anything you're not sure of. And I started doing that. But I
right.
was very much as wasn't like relying on her or depending on her in any way. I was
Mm,
very self-sufficient with everything, but it
yeah,
was just more of that little check-ins. What do you think about this?
yeah.
I'm thinking this. What about that? But yeah, I just basically did a P&L,
Mm,
because again, whilst I've been in sales, I still looked after my own P&Ls and costs and returns. And I just built like a bit of a spreadsheet on everything and was just
yeah,
looking at, average treatment, how many clients I'd need, what would my advertising costs be? God,
yeah,
that's all grown arms and legs as well. It was
yeah,
never like I thought it would be.
mm, yeah,
But yeah, I just did some stuff and thought, well, how much would I need to save? If I was going to start this business, when will I start breaking even? And just looked at it all on paper and was like, hang on a minute. If I do all this right, within 12 months, I'll have the same earning potential as I did in my 27-year career.
wow. And you plan in your own diary. Do it when you want.
Yeah. Yeah.
I mean, am I right in that you're hiring someone as well at the minute? So you've already
Yeah.
hired
So,
an employee.
yeah. So basically, at the minute, I am cleaning the room to
Hmm.
create my own content,
Yeah,
doing the laser treatments, to you name it, ordering stock. I've got a million apps. And it's brilliant. Do you know what I mean? Like, but
there is your
it's a
day
lot.
then, isn't it? Yeah, you've
Yeah,
got
it's a
extra.
lot. It's a lot, babe. So what I've realised is I've needed a little bit of help, but the operational stuff is what I love. So I don't need anyone to I've got some help with some of this stuff. Like yesterday I signed up for someone who's going to run now my Instagram and TikTok and
Yeah,
Facebook.
yeah,
And they're going to create all the posts for me and they're going to post them and they're going to do some work on my stories. I
right.
can still do some bits, but I've needed to like let that go because it's so time consuming,
Tell-
right?
You're preaching, girl. It is.
Exactly. It's time consuming. So I've let that go. And then one of the things I'm looking at, I'm hiring someone for up to like 2 days a week.
Hmm.
And I'm going to give them like a Saturday and either a Tuesday or a Thursday, because they're my busiest laser days.
Yeah.
But also there's so many things that I want to do with Hello Laser that I can't do because I'm like a headless chicken running round. So the two things that were causing me the most, I can't get out of here, is the social media management side and
Mhm.
also the lasering side. So
Yeah.
I still want a laser. I'm still learning. I'm getting some really good results for clients. So I'm all for it. But I've just needed to take the pressure off a little bit because it's things like I'm not even marketing to, I pay like, I mean, I do ads on Google, I do ads on Meta. And
Mm.
on Meta, when you get a lead, you're capturing like their email address and everything.
Right.
And even though I've always worked really close with marketing, one of the things I've not been doing is marketing to those buckets of leads. So when they're hot, they come in and I have an AI tool that starts chatting to them and then I start chatting to them and I try and book them in. But what I've not done, there's probably like 800 leads that I've not marketed to because
Right.
I'm literally like spinning a million plates. So it's like, I've needed to go back to it, but I've just not had the mental capacity to do it.
Yeah.
So by bringing someone in for a couple of days a week lets me start thinking about how I grow Hello Laser, because I'm nowhere near at maximum capacity yet, utilization with days or anything.
Mm.
I've got days of work, but I'm not 5 days a week maxed out.
Yeah.
And I want to get to that place. But I can't do that while I'm lasering. I can't
Yeah.
do that while I'm spending all day on a Monday creating my content for the week.
Yeah.
Do you know what I
Yeah.
mean? You know, the thrilling thing about this business is every day is different. It's exciting when, I have an amazing sales week. You're like, oh my God, like I've absolutely mopped up this week. I've got 10 consults. I've done 5 or 6 grand in revenue. I can't believe it.
Wow.
You're a bit like that. But then I can believe it because of my background. I've got
And it's all
business
yours, though.
acumen.
You've
Yeah,
done it start to finish.
exactly.
You've built every single
Yeah.
bit of Yeah.
Exactly. But it's like this morning, it's liberating. I've now got someone who's going to clean my room every week because I clean it throughout the week as well.
Mm.
But it's little things like that where I set myself these goals and I was like, by this month, you can reward yourself by getting a cleaner. And
Right.
I've been literally like every Monday, I do my content bits. I then go to the salon before we go to the gym. And it's like I'm hoovering and mopping my room like a deep clean. But it's been like all these things where even though the business has been making money, I've wanted the business to keep the security. And then it's like, right, on month 9, you can do this if you wear
Yeah.
your knit. And but in the meantime, I've been like, not struggling, but it's just been a lot.
Yeah. Yeah. I bet it's I don't know. Yeah. Did you have to do like a course for that as well then, Kerry? Do you have
Yeah,
to
of
put your
course I did. Yeah,
training
no, I
in?
did. Yeah, before I did everything, I started investing in the training, the qualifications.
Mhm.
I did some shadowing in my friend's business, which was really useful. So yeah, but ultimately, I just literally threw myself in.
Yeah.
You're like, I remember my first consultation, my first client. I was just like, what I said earlier, just fucking get on with it.
Yeah. But
Just
you'll
make
have
it happen.
Yeah. Do you
But
think though you
I had to leave my career though as well because I knew that it would be, I had to just go, this is what you're doing now, get on with it, go make it work.
But I also think if you'd not had that career, you probably wouldn't be as successful doing what you're doing now.
No,
So
absolutely not.
it has its place, that
Yeah,
corporate world, but
yeah.
it's nice to then move on and work for yourself.
It is, but you know what as well? Like the average age of a female entrepreneur is 44, believe it or not. So that's currently what it is.
Wow.
So I've done the normal path of, I've had years of experience in corporate. And then I thought, no, go and do something yourself, put your money where your mouth is and
Yeah.
actually go create a business yourself.
Yeah.
And if you don't, it's fine. You can always return to your corporate career if you need to, or try something else. But it was just time for me to do something. And it's quite the norm as well when you look at stats like that most women in their 40s decide they want to do something themselves.
And I think that is when you reach that point, like you say, of fuck it as well, fuck off and fuck it kind of thing as well, innit? Yeah. That. Do you feel a lot happier now then, would you say?
Oh my God. I mean, yeah, babe, I don't even have an alarm. No alarm wakes me up any day. I mean, I'm a shit sleeper anyway, but when I've got to set an alarm, I don't know, like, when did I last set an alarm now? Going to the airport on holiday, because I'd set an alarm, I couldn't sleep because I had an alarm set. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
But it's like, I'm so much happier. And, initially you go through this path of, is it going to work? And I was kind of like that from the December when I started until March. And then you've got this data behind you, because as much as I'm a salesperson, everything I do is put into a spreadsheet. And my data was like, well, your data's here now. You can pay all your business bills and you can pay all your personal bills. And then from April, it was like, oh God, now I make profit as well. Obviously, my personal bills is my salary, but then it's like, and then there's, because that's your minimum bills, it's just to function. And then you're like, and then there's profit. And then that worry now, it's less about me worrying about, can I afford to pay my bills or go on holiday? It's more, how in the next year can I open my own shop? That's what's now. It's not even a worry anymore. But no, it's just, it's thrilling how exciting it is. And like, even though I had this problem a few weeks ago with my machine, and there was a problem with the nozzle and there was some damage to it, and I was closed for 2 weeks, and I was going out my mind, and I was really, really stressed, because it's like, this is my fucking livelihood. Like, I've got no money coming in. And that was terrifying. But it was that thing of, the reason why I don't want to run before I can walk is because I want to keep making sure that the business is building up money, and I'm not just doing rash decisions like going and getting a shop, which I could do now, but I don't want to, because I need the security of the business to be stronger. So the big lesson that's been really difficult for me is patience. Because I'm used to having a business's pot of money and doing what I want with it within reason. And now I'm having to follow, and my hands are behind my back, and I'm like, oh, I really want to buy another machine. And it's like, you can't. You've just got to keep doing these things because they're working.
And it's enough for now. Just take it
a bit. It's enough for now. I have to follow my own plan.
Oh, Kerry, it sounds unbelievable. I'm jealous. But I feel like you do need to still do the business work, and then it's just lines up for you, right? Doesn't it, as you get older?
Exactly.
Well, I think this might have been my favourite episode yet, Kerry. I'm not going to lie. Loved this conversation. Before you go, we're going to do some girl boss commandments.
All right. Okay.
So this is the part of the podcast where I'm going to ask you 3 questions. 2 of them we're going to keep, and they're going to go in the Bible, and they're going to be my commandments. And 1's going straight in the bin. Okay. So the first one is, what's one piece of advice from a woman you admire that has stayed with you?
Oh gosh. So, there was a CEO, a technology business that I worked in, and she used to use the line, again, just do it. So professionally, I know that's a bit boring. That was it. But also, Gillian Anderson as a rogue one, again, talking about maturing as a woman and getting to a point of where you just want to tell people to fuck off more. So I feel like there's two different ones there, but just do it as I remember thinking, just do it. Anytime you question yourself, just do it anyway. And if you get it wrong, you get it wrong. But equally as well, also just being your true authentic self. And when something's not right, just telling people to fuck off more. So
I love that, Kerry.
but in your own way, which is just like, you've got your professional, your whatever the wording you want to use, but it's like, no, I'm not going to do that because it's not the right thing to do. So
which also links back to your boss move as well, which is in what
exactly.
you preach. And number 2, what's one piece of advice that you'd like to pass on to the next generation of women?
Don't fucking doubt yourself. Do not do it. Do not get in your own head and worry about it.
Yeah.
Go for whatever it is you want, and there's nothing wrong with failing. Failing learns lessons, and lessons create the best version of you. Seriously.
Yeah. Kerry, you're so good. Stay on here forever. You're amazing.
That's it.
I always knew you was amazing anyway, like I say. I've always watched you from afar and admired you. Right, and last of all, what is one piece of advice that's getting put straight in the bin?
You can't. No. Anything that is limiting you, don't take it if you really believe in it. Like, literally just be fucking true to yourself. And don't let anyone tell you that you can't do something that you really want to do. Don't let noises get in your head.
Yeah.
Because they're so loud and there's no space for them.
Yeah, it's true.
Get straight in the bin with that.
Yeah. Straight in the fucking...
Negative energy as well around you. Just fuck it right off, because when you're surrounded by all that shit, it literally drains you.
Yeah, I agree.
I'd rather be in a fucking fantasy in my own mind than I would in, okay, there's got to be reality sometimes. Like, it's, I used to want to be a model. I was never tall enough to be one, so I can't be, I get it. But I'd rather be in a fantasy somewhere for just happiness, do you know what I mean? And a bit of a dreamer than I would with some miserable shit telling me that I can't do something.
Yeah, exactly.
There's always a version of something you can. It might not be the version that you initially see and want, but there's things that are close.
Oh, God, yeah. Kerry, you're like an oracle. Honestly, what a woman.
Shut up, you.
You are. Well, I actually feel like I just love you. I love you so much. I feel like you're like a little twin flame. I love it. I feel like I just want to be here.
You need to let me know when you're next in Manchester, and we didn't get to see each other last time.
I know. We'll do something with Mr. Mart, shall we? Yeah, bless him. He's ruined my life, by the way, if he's listening, because he got me Whispering Angels, and I've just spent loads of money on it ever since.
How much is it a bottle over there? Is it Dead Day? I've never been.
It's not horrendous, do you know what I mean? It's not that expensive. But, when I'm just used to pick the cheapest bottle of Pinot, and then I went out with Mart's about 4 years ago, and he went, "Oh, you got to get Provence, anything Provence." And I said, all right. And he's ruined my life. My mum, and we've got my mum now, Mum's got a bottle of Provence, we'll get it. She'll go, it's 60 quid. And I'm like, Mum, do you think I fucking work hard to not drink £60 bottles of wine? Because I'm going to.
Exactly, darling.
Yeah, but he ruined it all for me. So
bless you. Love that.
Yeah, we shout out as well to Mr. Martz. We love him, Martz.
Yes, Papa.
Papa, Mama, of the Buka. Anyway, nobody knows what we're about here, so. But yeah, Kerry, thanks so much. I have loved every minute of this. I hope everyone has. Like, subscribe, comment, let us know what you want to hear. But yeah, Kerry, thank you, everybody.
All right, thanks, Katy. Loads of love. Take care. Bye.